Just as the elevator doors were about to close, a black hand suddenly reached in. The person who walked in was a weirdo wearing a helmet, which made the woman feel very uneasy. What was even more frightening was that this weirdo lived right next door to her. After returning home, the woman quickly locked all 3 locks on her door. She thought this would keep her safe, but as soon as she lay down, she noticed a used bath towel on the cabinet with a strand of hair on it. The woman was furious. She immediately went to her computer to check the home surveillance. But before the recording opened, there was a sudden knock on the tightly locked door. When she opened the door, no one was there. Just as she let her guard down, a dark shadow suddenly flashed across the hallway. Although the woman was very scared, she was even more determined to catch the pervert hiding in her home. She picked up her anti-wolf spray and slowly walked forward, only to find a one-eyed little girl appearing before her eyes. Back at her computer, she continued to review the surveillance footage. It showed a man in black entering her home during the day, even drinking from the beer she was holding. At that moment, the woman also sensed danger behind her. It turned out that the man in black was the helmet-wearing weirdo next door. He was preparing to kill the woman to silence her. The woman stood up to run away, but it was too late. Even more bizarrely, a few days later, the weirdo also mysteriously disappeared. The apartment manager asked his brother Jimmy to come and collect his belongings. As soon as Jimmy entered the room, he smelled the odor of rotting flesh. The room was piled high with garbage, not much different from a homeless person's dwelling. However, in front of the mirror, women's products were neatly arranged, which left Jimmy very puzzled. His brother was clearly single, so why would there be these items in his home? To figure out the situation, Jimmy asked the neighbors about his brother's whereabouts, but when they heard it was about missing persons, the neighbors all shut their doors in terror. At this point, the observant Jimmy noticed that each resident's door had a graphic mark in front of it. After observing the comings and goings of people in some of the rooms, he discovered that squares represented men, circles represented women, and triangles represented children. The numbers next to them indicated the quantity. Only his brother's room and the woman's room next door had an extra check mark which Jimmy couldn't understand. Meanwhile, Jimmy's family members waiting for him outside the apartment were also harassed by a homeless man. Jimmy's wife had only gone to the bathroom, but when she returned, she found the homeless man sitting in her car. He had locked the car doors, trapping the children inside as well. At the critical moment, a kind-hearted woman rushed out and used a stun gun to drive the homeless man away. Afterward, the woman invited Jimmy and his family to her home for a meal. She lived here with only her daughter, yet the mark on their door indicated a family of 3, and her daughter was the one-eyed little girl from before.